Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Nilaus, and this is more content for Rise of the Darkfog. Maybe you feel that my voice sounds a bit different, but that's because I have barely slept this night because I was streaming all night, and I'm going to stream again. So if you want to watch a ton more Dyson Sphere content, drop on by to my Twitch channel on twitch.tv/Nilaus at 8 p.m. Central European time. Then I'm probably streaming, and this time a lot of Dyson Sphere content. Anyway, what I want to do today is I want to show you 10 things about the Darkfog that you maybe didn't know. It's not about, oh, this is a turret, because you know that's kind of evident. But there are things that that maybe it's kind of told, but it's not really intuitive, and then there are things that are definitely not told and are a bit of secrets. So let's dive in. We're going to be rapid firing the first ones because they are quick, and then they become bigger and bigger as we jump to that. And yeah, some of them are really weird. Anyway, the very first thing is you can place wind turbines, or as some people call them, wind miners. You can place them on the water. That's pretty cool. It is a tech that you unlock very early. It's actually up steel smelting. It says can build wind turbines underwater. Pretty neat. And it actually helps sort of bridge the gaps in the early game for sort of tying things together if you like wind turbines / wind miners. Next small thing is a fact that you can actually, in here, you can filter by middle mouse clicking. You can filter, and then they will stay put here, and they'll go in. And if you put something else in, they won't be putting into those ones. So that works exactly like they do in It Does in Factorial. Pretty neat. And yeah, it's kind of handy for a lot of things. When, for example, you want a box that is filtering the output, but you also want some other things here you want to put into to get there. So it's pretty neat, and it works for all inventory, also your own inventory. You can see here I have filtered some of these, so I always know where I can find the stuff that I need. The fidget spinners, the hats, and my beloved missile turrets. There's going to be a lot more about the missile turrets. The next thing is about building. So I am building something here, and I'm just going to stamp it down. So you see that this is building, but as this gets built, I might want to have also the connection in, because this might want to start working. So you can actually hold, right click, left click, sorry, hold the left mouse button on these things, and you can auto build. This is particularly useful in the beginning when you have only 3 drones and take forever. So you can just help build it only for the green ones. If you do it for the white ones, if you don't have it, then it doesn't work because they've not been allocated anything yet. But this speeds up a lot, and I think it's particularly useful for that one power pole that isn't connected. That means the whole thing is not working, and instead of moving over there, you just instant build it like that. It actually helps in the beginning quite a lot, and it also makes you feel that you actually participate and do stuff. So instead of just standing there looking at the slow parts, running back and forth. So that's pretty neat. So the next thing is also about building. We're going to start by stamping down the same blueprint and just getting it there. And now it starts working, and it's slow. It is so damn slow. So what can we do to make it faster? Well, we showed the manual build, but hey, that's kind of slow. But there's this magical building, battlefield analysis base. It is super amazing. So let's build it in here, and I'm going to use the automatic build here, and I'm going to force that in here, and there we go. So what happens as this one builds? This is kind of designed to be doing repairs and stuff like that, but it has 12 drones, and those drones help building. Look at that. And if you have more, okay, they're a little bit too close, but just stamp it down. Look at that. They are actually now I suddenly go from having, how many drones do I have? 6 drones to having 12 plus 12, 24 additional drones on top of that. That helps a lot when building. Plus I can just leave, and they will continue to build because they are already green, so that means they are already allocated from my inventory, and they will just continue to build it. Even though my drones get out of range, then they will still continue to build. And that is absolutely amazing. So that means always carry a couple of these with you whenever you build. For example, setting up new mining outposts. Just plop one of those down, power it, and start dragging lines around the mines. And then you don't have to worry so much about sort of the time it takes to actually build it, because they will just help out as they do now. Even though they still have to fly here, but it still takes quite a load off for you. Really amazing. So maybe you have accidentally done this. Oops, and now there's 452 stuff littered. Oh no. Yeah, let's start by rebuilding it again. If I can get it squeezed in here. There. It didn't have the stuff, but you know, picking it up like this Yeah, it's slow, but you know, let's continue with the battlefield analysis. Insanely awesome, awesome build here. Check out this. Look how fast it is. It is ridiculously fast, and that means we can just build these up here. I don't even remember what it was. Definitely not that one. Here, and then I just take that one here and this one. Go in here, and they will just fill up so fast. This one. Let's get that one in here. And the last one was iron as well. And this will pick up faster than I can even sort it here. So we can just restore everything. And we just basically take whatever is the most of. And that is a really fast way of cleaning up junk on the ground. That you don't have to sort of run around yourself picking it up. So that's pretty neat. I was thinking, oh man, it has to fly back and forth, but it doesn't fly back and forth. It just magically scoops them up and puts them into the inventory. So cool. That's a great way to clean up. And that was another thing with the battlefield analysis. The battlefield analysis is super amazing. It's my top 3 favorite new buildings. But let's see another thing that you can also do. You can actually set up filters for what it wants to pick up. So maybe you don't want to pick up everything. We can then set a filter set by existing items. That means everything gets locked, and when I pick up things, it'll only fill those up here, which is a little bit weird in this case. Or we can set it up to uniform filter. Everything, the only thing it'll pick up is only, let's say uniform filter for titanium. So everything will now be titanium, and as we remove it, okay, they just. Oh, I just noticed something new. Oh, that's an extra thing. Oh my god, that's so nice. Oh, I did not know that. Wow. You can just do this. Okay, well, there we go. I learned a new thing. That's a bonus thing, I guess, for this one. You can just plop it in and then it'll... Oh, man, I always just struggle with the opening and then accidentally clicking that one. That happens so many times. But now, no more. Just straight... Yeah, love it. Love it indeed. And we can then clean up pretty rapidly here. There. Awesome. Alright, let's continue with the amazing battlefield analysis base, because it has more quirks already. We're also a little bit out of power. That's something we'll deal with on live stream tonight. So, what can you do? Well, you can't put a hat on it, unfortunately. But what you can do, you can put a... Insanity! Insanity, you can put a giant depot Mark II on top. You can put more of those, and even if you have more. And then on top of that, you can actually put a hat on top. And just for confirmation, gas filter, it does have access to it. So even though it's here, if it's here, let's see that one. See, it does have access to it. It's from any of these. Of course, it only has access to one, but that's amazing. Like, for example, you're building this at you're building this close to the perimeter, and then you can request in here. You could, for example, request, you know, missile turrets. That could be a thing that you'd want to request inbound. It's out of range, good thing, so we don't actually get them in here. But that would be pretty neat. And then, of course, you'd have to sort of filter it like that, so that it actually gets it in here. You can set up the manual filters what you want here. It's take a little bit of time, and then you probably want a blueprint of it. So if you want to sort of filter things specifically here, you can also just say if whether it's on reconstruction mode. You can also set it whether it's an auto pickup or not. And so if you don't want it to pick up all the junk that gets dropped by the enemies. And there's more in terms of pickup and delivery stuff. So let's see, I have these things in inventory. I'm just going to drop them on the ground. Just some random stuff here. All of this. So I now have a lot of junk here. You can see that we can pick them up as usual. Or if we go into this mode, I can actually set up filtering. And here there are actually a really interesting thing. You can see here what they drop at level 0, and once they leave level 3, they actually start dropping some really cool things, like replicating things that, unfortunately, I'm too efficient at killing the Darkfog, so I can't get them to level. But that's more about that later. Maybe not in this video, but in future videos. But you can then set it up, each one, you can set pick up all, or drop all. Oh, drop all, probably not a good idea. But you can also set individually saying, do you really want to pick up this? No, I don't. So we just mark these as saying, I don't want to be picking up like raw stuff from the ground. Don't want to pick that up. That's nasty. Don't want to pick it up. For example, we know we dropped some silicon. We know we dropped some of that one and silicon. I don't want to pick those up. So let's see what happens when I actually start picking up. They are left there. See? That's the silicon thing, and that's the silicon. Yep. So those get to stay there. So you can filter them out. If I say yes, pick them up, they will get picked up. So it's pretty neat. So you can make sure that you don't fill up your inventory, because there is a tendency to pick up a lot of things. And also, you can also just let's see here. If you set it to auto, let's set it to auto for that one and that one. Cool. And then if we drop, so that just drops, and that gets picked up immediately. It gets picked up immediately. So you can set it to auto pick up certain things, which I think is pretty neat. And maybe you want that to be picked up for. Maybe you actually want to set everything to auto pick up, or a lot of things to auto pick up. That's definitely some things you don't want. Like, I can't see why you want. It's actually interesting. It's only like debris, but it's not buildings, because all buildings you really want those to be auto picked up. But yeah, I don't know. That's just how it is. You can set them to auto pick up. You definitely don't want if you drop, I don't know, some valuable things to have them. So set them to auto pick up anyway. And the rest you can pick them up here. So you can actually have more control of the debris. And the reason why that's important is because there will be a lot of debris dropped by the Darkfog. So speaking of the Darkfog, when you have dislodged one of these locations, let's just knock it down, then there is a hole in the ground, and that hole in the ground is kind of useless, I suppose. You can't really use that for much. We have one little fighter drone helping. We'll get this one knocked down soon enough. Then this hole in the ground, there are a certain number of things you can do with it, and one of the not obvious things, you can of course close it. You can also wait, and then the relay station will eventually build something else. But what you can do is also build, click, build that here, and then the relay station will disappear and fly off. So this is as good as closing it, except if this one gets destroyed, well, it's open and then it can be rebuilt again. Now, how good is it? It is working at 310% geothermal, so it gives about 15 megawatts of power. So on lava planet, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make a big difference, because here, there you can get that. But on a non lava planet, it's actually neat that you can get 15 megawatts of power from just this one. It's pretty neat. So maybe consider doing it if you don't need the space for something else, or if you don't have the blueprint, the landfill to fill it in. Landfill, soil piles. So it's pretty neat. Alright, are you still with me? Because now we've covered the basic stuff. Those are just like nice, neat quirks. But this is now where the real deals come in. So we're going to talk about the signal tower. The signal tower is weird, but it's really efficient. It does a lot of cool things. First of all, within this area, that it provides power, so it's a big power pole. Then on top of that, it also provides power to me, which is really nice. So it powers, keeps us powered up, and that's also really neat. Then the biggest feature, and it's not really explained very well, maybe it is, but maybe I just didn't read it. But anyway, I'll be explaining it now. Any missile turrets that are already awesome becomes infinitely more awesome. So when the missile turrets are in here, they will now be part of this signal tower network. So these three are now part of the signal tower network. These four over here, they're also part of the same signal tower network. Even though these two are different locations, all the signal towers communicate with each other. And then they will then sort of be part of a signal tower network. I will then be making a blueprint that I have prepared, because, I mean, of course I have a blueprint prepared. I'm just going to make this neat little thing here. And it has a signal tower, which means that if I'm going close, then I get powered by it. It has 4 missile turrets. It doesn't really need to have these missile turrets here, but it does kind of get in here. And I will be requesting, yes, we have 120 inbound. We can just speed it a little bit along and give you one of those. So that will just kind of funnel around here and then be happy, and you can see that they are now available. So this yellow line here is the ranger. That's pretty neat. Let's go over here and go. So if I wanted to attack this location, I would normally just build some turrets and all that stuff. I don't need it. Watch this. This is insanity. I wonder if it actually is connected. I don't know how long it's connecting. That one? Let's see if it connects. It is not connecting because it's not doesn't have the power yet. Okay, they'll just make sure that it gets connected to the other one. And that's a little bit too far away. So as this one goes in, then watch what happens. Everything dies. Look at that. Look at the insanity of that. Isn't that amazing? And this one is just standing here. It just basically says anything that comes into the range of any signal tower will trigger the missile turrets from any other signal tower area. So I can just plop this down closer as well. And watch the barrage. And you can see that when they turn red, that means they're already dead. They just don't know it yet. Look at that. I'm not doing anything. This is so insane. There we go. And just by having a missile turret. Did that just change your game radically? I think it did. And then we have the choice of whether to close it or do something else. And it works on a long range as well. So because this was so fun, we're going to do one more because I need to clear this out anyway from... Oh, crap. Let's get that one built. And now, because it's a little bit further away, it takes a little bit longer to... But it's absolutely insane. It is so ridiculous. Yeah. So that gets nuked. And this one... And I need to build it a little closer. So we'll just build it up there, I guess. That might be in range, but you can see here, it's taken out. And that is now taken out. So now we have this situation. Oh, hello. What are you doing? Oh, that one's already dead. So the situation now is, what are we going to do? This one is still lodged there. And this is a hint that might have been handy also for a fellow YouTuber of mine. Generally don't attack these, because the threat for the hive in the system doesn't really go up when you just dislodge a planetary building. It doesn't really, a little bit, but not much. But let's try attacking that one and see what happens. So I've now told my missile turrets that they can attack low orbit. That's just something you generally don't want to do, and well, we want to do it in the most spectacular way, right? Let's take a look at this. This is a 1900 and something. And look at that. Look how much it increases when you decide to shoot that one. Oh, they also just shoot. Oh, they shoot all of them. Oh no, the insanity. Oh, they're all going to be shot down. Oh no. Oh, that's breaking that one up. And that's going to be... I mean, it's amazing to shoot them down, but you can also see that it's probably not a great idea. 5 vessels incoming, and they just keep shooting. And they're going to be shooting up at anything. So, look at that. They will just absolutely destroy everything. So, this is one of those things. Maybe, just maybe, don't set them to attack relay stations unless you really want to have a death world on your hands. Because now we have incoming vessels. Which kind of leads into another thing about the incoming vessels. If we just happen to see that they are coming into this location, hopefully. Yes, they are. They're coming in. You need missile turrets to defend against incoming vessels. Even though there are 5, and even though we have a kind of a lot of these, then it's still going to be really dangerous. So here's the thing. They are now coming in. And we want to see if we can find where they're coming in from. But we should be... There we go. Now we see it. This is also beautiful. Like, is it strictly necessary for us to see this? No. But damn, is it amazing to... So you need missile turrets on the planet, but... it hurts a lot. Even if you have a million missile turrets, then they are still going to be strafing your run. So this is the essence of it. Be careful about setting that one up, and you will be able to destroy them with your defenses here. But yeah, that's it takes a while, and they will be able to attack. So that is enough on the signal towers, because they are amazing. So the last thing I want to show you, which is also the most secret one, is up here. There's a Darkfog Communicator. You might have noticed that this is you can't see it on the map if you're just looking at this. You can't see it here. But sometimes when you look into the night sky, you will see this one. And if you do, then make sure that you pin it so that it stays there. Because you might want to go up to this one. So let's have a look at what this Darkfog Communicator is. Here we go. We are now getting closer to the Darkfog Communicator. Now, what is this thing? You can't shoot it, but you can get closer to it and you can click it. Let's try to sort of balance our speed. And what does this mean? Well, if we accidentally attack the relay stations and we have accurate everything, you can actually call for a truce. I would imagine that depends on sort of the levels and all that. It gets more and more difficult, and this is using metadata for it. Or you can improve or increase or decrease the aggressiveness of the Darkfog. So of course we're gonna put it to rampage, because of course we're gonna do that. We're never gonna weaken it. We're just gonna be cranking it up to the more difficult part. There we go. That is what we're gonna be playing with this. But that's the Darkfog Communicator. It's hidden things somewhere in your system that you can then just sort of communicate with the Darkfog and set up some truce, or weaken, or make it more difficult. And of course we're gonna make it more difficult. That's obvious, right? So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus episode with tips and tricks. If you have some tips and tricks then I haven't mentioned, then be sure to leave it in the comment section below, or let me know on during the live stream. And then I might do more of these. These were just sort of the stuff like compiled over the first couple of days. And I'm sure there are tons more of weird interactions that we haven't discovered yet. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the live stream or following here on YouTube for tons more content for Dyson Sphere Program. Until next time, take care and stay effective.